and we're going to listen to our first keynote speaker. Caisse des Dépôts plays a unique role in the French financial landscape and in the country's low-carbon transition. I'm very honored to invite Éric Lombard, Directeur Général de la Caisse des Dépôts, my CEO, to come on stage. Monsieur le Directeur Général.
Well, I am Pierre, CEO, but today is clearly the boss, which is certainly a good thing. I will start by making a short introduction in French, and I will switch back to English afterwards. Mesdames, Messieurs, je suis très heureux de vous retrouver pour cette nouvelle édition du Climate Finance Day, dont la Caisse des Dépôts est l'un des parrains depuis sa création, c'est-à-dire avant même la COP21. La Caisse a toujours été très engagée sur les questions du climat. Donc brièvement en français, comment est-ce que la Caisse peut contribuer à relever les défis que vous avez commencé à traiter pendant ces 3 jours, que vous avez plutôt continué de traiter pendant ces 3 jours? Il y a une évidence, c'est qu'il faut agir maintenant encore plus vigoureusement qu'avant pour lutter contre le changement climatique et adapter nos sociétés aux bouleversements en cours. Je suis convaincu que le monde financier est un levier extrêmement puissant. Certes, la finance ne peut pas tout faire, mais le rôle et la responsabilité des acteurs financiers dans l'allocation du capital sont absolument cruciales dans les années à venir. Et parmi les grands acteurs financiers, la Caisse a évidemment un rôle important à jouer. Et je veux vous dire ici, et je vais essayer de le démontrer, que nous sommes pleinement engagés dans cette bataille. Quelle est la mission de la Caisse des Dépôts? C'est de contribuer au développement durable de la France. Développement durable, ça veut dire accélérer la transition vers un modèle économique bas carbone, respectueux de la biodiversité et résilient. Mais durable, ça veut aussi dire prendre en compte la dimension sociale de cette transition, pour qu'elle soit juste envers nos concitoyens et qu'elle permette de réduire les fractures sociales. Et pour ceux qui en doutaient, les événements en France de ces derniers jours montrent combien les deux défis sont liés. On ne luttera pas contre le réchauffement climatique sans lutter contre les inégalités sociales et territoriales. Let me now switch back to English. Let me further explain how, as an institutional investor and as a French public bank for entrepreneurs, local authorities and social housing, we are going to increase our commitment for an inclusive transition. I strongly believe that investors, all kinds of investors, hold one of the keys to unlock the fight against global warming. Let's dream. When all investors will have their portfolios compliant with a 1.5-degree target, the world will be a much better place. Today, with a 400 billion euro combined balance sheet, our mission is to bridge society's growing gaps. We are providing both technical assistance and financial means to ensure that our regions, our cities, our companies contribute to a development which must be sustainable both socially and from a climate perspective. There is no doubt that climate change is both the largest challenge of our time and presently, unfortunately, the most divisive. The latest IPCC special report, meaning of course Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, is clear. To avoid a global warming above 1.5 degrees, global greenhouse emissions need to be curbed before 2030. We have 10 years ahead of us to save the planet. This is an extremely challenging task and an extremely challenging timeline. In the next 10 years, we need to transform our economies and our territories toward more resilient, lower carbon and less resource-intensive models. Meaning, we have to scale up, which is the theme of those days, higher energy efficiency in the industry, Gilles Schnepp was very clear on that previously, and public buildings. We have to scale up the electrification of public and private transportation, meaning that those transportation must be fed by low-carbon electricity, of course, and not by carbon thermal power plants. That means nuclear or renewables. We must transform wasteful production cycles into circular ones, and we must also fight against land degradation and for a more successful biodiversity protection. Awareness is quickly rising, but to solve the climate crisis, it is essential not to forget the too many people who are not yet in the room. They still represent in the world a strong majority. We must convince them. That means we must convince the citizens in America and in China that global warming is a key issue for our world. And in this regard, this fight obviously is a political fight. Let me come back with more precise commitments and to tell you how Caisse des Dépôts, as a financial institution, can contribute to this challenge. Of course, we are a mission-driven public institution and long-term investor. Our group has sought to align its activities under a long-term roadmap supporting the Paris Agreement. And to achieve carbon neutrality, I'm not only referring to Caisse des Dépôts itself and its greenhouse gas emission, but to that of our clients, of companies where I have a stake, and also of beneficiaries such as pension holders. And this gives up a strong lever for action. This goal implies taking firmer stances in our financial policies and in our resource allocation. First point I will mention is our activities in lending and borrowing. Between 2014 and 2017, over 4 years, we committed more than 18 billion euros, more than initially pledged, in loans and investment to the low-carbon economy, notably for energy-efficient refurbishment of social housing, green startups, and renewable energy projects and developers. Over the next 3 years, between 2018 and 2020, Caisse des Dépôts, jointly with its subsidiary Bpifrance, jointly owned with the French state, are now going to commit another 16 billion euros of new additional flows toward the green economy. 16 billion euros. Put into perspective, this implies that more than 20% of our total loan activity will be targeted toward climate-friendly projects. CNP Assurance, our life insurance subsidiary, will contribute another 5 billion between 2018 and 2020. Coming to the liability side of the balance sheet, after the issuance of our first green bond in 2017, Caisse des Dépôts will be issuing a sustainability bond in 2018. These funds will finance local investments that have a positive social and environmental impact in France. And again, annual reporting will enable full transparency over this project. I believe transparency, of course, is a key lever as well. Our new public bank for local authorities, called Banque des Territoires, will be strongly mobilized to assist communities in their shift toward the low-carbon economy. This mission will be featuring in the division upcoming policy. This policy will be made public, just as our group climate policy is, available, of course, on our website. It will translate into new dedicated financial products, including, to give a few examples, dedicated loans and investment to scale up the energy-efficient refurbishment of public buildings that have a strong impact on global warming. Investment of green transition contracts, contrats de transition écologique, newly set up in partnership with the French state and local authorities. Those contracts are made to accelerate local action on the ground. A dedicated assistance will be provided to 4 very special regions that will be impacted by the progressive closure of all coal thermal power plants decided and confirmed yesterday by the President. All coal thermal power plants in France will be closed by 2022, and we will support the region impacted by those closures. Of course, we have a financial and employment impact. Third example, as of next year, the AquaPrêt loan for water supply, will be made available to increase the efficiency and resilience of water systems. So I believe in also commitment by the proof, as we just said. I would like also to understand that inflow of green retail savings that we call livret de développement durable et solidaire, which is a special investment dedicated for investors in France, have already been entirely allocated to projects that finance an inclusive transition. For the greatest part, this livret de développement durable finance the construction and refurbishment of high-quality environmental housing, which is a key to, for our national low-carbon strategy. More than 350,000 housing, 350,000 flats and houses have been refurbished to reach a higher energy performance. And as you probably know, which is why I insist on housing and public buildings, because the building sector is one of the most energy-intensive sectors. It is accounting for over 45% of the energy consumption and 27% of greenhouse emissions in France. As such, the construction of efficient energy buildings and the refurbishment of existing units is key in rapidly and efficiently leveraging our efforts towards the fight against climate change. But this also includes subways, tramways, thermal refurbishment of university campuses. 40% of those projects are in small towns and in villages because climate adaptation cannot be the privilege of major cities. As of this month, everyone can browse on our websites to look through those projects online and understand how green retail savings have supported the respective communities and adapting to climate change. Second element, after loans and borrowing, the group will accelerate in integrating climate risk in the whole risk management process. Our financial policy has already been updated to integrate climate risk as defined by the Task Force on Climate Disclosure. And we have performed a top-down climate stress test. Jointly with BPI France, we will perform a climate sensitivity analysis in all major asset classes to improve the accuracy of the climate risk assessment of our balance sheet. And we will also work together to improve climate integration in our risk credit analysis to feed our overall risk model and allocation model. And I'm sure that you understand how powerful those tools can be in changing the way we manage assets. Third, our investment portfolio. We have actively decarbonized our investment portfolios, and by that, I specifically mean the underlying assets that we finance, whether in debt or in equity. Since 2014, the group equity carbon footprint has declined by 37%, and our bond carbon footprint has declined by more than 50%. The property arbitrage and refurbishment program, seeking a 38% reduction of energy consumption, in our real estate investment portfolio by 2030 is on track, and we have already met half of this target. So we are speaking about real figure, real action. The Global Energy Program will be extended going forward to the real estate activities of our Banque des Territoires that I mentioned previously. For unlisted companies, BPI France has measured the footprint of its portfolio and identified key sectors and key companies. BPI is now working with its partners to join the initiative Climat 2020, Climate 2020, to assist those companies. And Caisse des Dépôts will join this initiative as a supporting limited partner to encourage private equity fund managers to develop climate action with their portfolio companies. So we are speaking about indirect action. Fourth and last point, we have publicly expressed two expectations vis-à-vis companies we finance. As long-term investor, I want to reassert that we do not expect only transparency about climate strategy and exposure to climate risk, but we also expect climate performance of companies where we invest, and we want to change the way companies where we invest manage their companies. The shareholder dialogue that we held with our internal portfolio managers is not a simple collection of information, but a discussion about long-term strategy of companies in the sectors that are most exposed to the transition risk and opportunities, such as, of course, oil and gas sector, but also in the demand side for the sector that are consuming much of this energy. This discussion is already feeding into the carbon planning of our portfolio asset allocation decision, as well as of voting decision. In 2019, the group will launch a comprehensive investment process with investing companies in climate-sensitive sectors of our equity and bond portfolios. We will seek to assess further our readiness for the low-carbon transition, which remain hard to translate into business terms, but that's really the objective we give ourselves. We will feed our portfolio managers' investment decision, and we will publish a study of the global trends and results that we found so that companies can get more benefits for the best practice identified. Caisse des Dépôts is also engaging external managers to encourage them to align their voting policy and practices with the Paris Agreement. And when fund strategy allows it, we encourage them to include a climate strategy in their asset selection. The group has had since COP21 a strong and transparent policy on thermal coal exclusion. In 2019, and that is an important commitment, we will lower the threshold from where we exclude investment in a company from 20% to 10% of turnover in the coal energy. As a long-term owner, we will encourage all portfolio companies that have a residual exposure to thermal coal to reduce this exposure to near 0% to align with the recommendation of the 1.5 degree IPCC report. It will apply this rule to new investment in private equity funds, and for open funds, we will discuss with asset managers on how to raise awareness about the importance of managing the coal issue. Also, as chairman of the Fonds de Réserve des Retraites, managing more than 30 billion euro of assets, I would like to mention that this policy, which is very restrictive, will be also applied to the Fonds de Réserve des Retraites. In this matter, trust is essential, and while the implementation of our coal policy was already detailed in our annual report, which is certified by our auditors, we will endeavor to make this information more available and to respond to queries about assets in the portfolio. To conclude, it is clear that to stand a chance to meet the 1.5% target, we need more consistent ambitions across all financial activities, more cooperation between investors, companies, and public authorities, and more transparency about how to manage this challenge. Caisse des Dépôts has done a lot for a long time. We have been committed, in fact, since 2000, and we have reinforced our climate commitment to support the Paris Agreement. But it is not enough. We are going further, as I said, and I will be happy to meet you on a regular basis to provide further evidence of our climate commitment and the climate impact of our policies. Thank you very much for your attention.